Is ractopamine in beef and pork safe? Ractopamine is a feed ingredient produced from naturally occurring substances, including raspberry ketones. It's related to other beneficial human medicines such as asthma treatments. Its safety has been tested in the U.S. by the Food and Drug Administration as well as government agencies in over 25 other countries. Since its introduction in 1999, there have been no reported negative human health incidents related to the consumption of meat products from animals fed ractopamine. Not only has ractopamine been tested by federal agencies in many countries, the results of those studies have been reviewed by over 100 additional countries. These countries have concluded that ractopamine use in meat production is safe. Therefore, they allow meat produced with ractopamine to be imported into their countries and fed to their people. For the remaining countries who do not allow meat supplemented with ractopamine, well, let's just say they're being protective. They know that it allows for better meat production. I'm sorry to say that they just don't want meat from North America to compete with their local, more expensive products. Officially, the World Trade Organization calls this a non-tariff trade barrier. International bodies who are part of the United Nations, such as Codex Alimentarius, which is Latin for food law, have set consensus standards for the world. They have all agreed that there are safe and allowable levels of ractopamine. The World Health Organization has stated there is no animal or human risk from its correct use, meaning that it should be accepted worldwide. It is important to understand how these safety studies are conducted for all approved products. Researchers give larger and larger doses of the product to laboratory animals until they start to notice some adverse effect. That way, they know how much the body can tolerate. Below that level is called the no adverse effect level. In other words, it's fine. However, the acceptable level for human consumption is usually set about 100 times less than this adverse effect level, just as an additional safety buffer. What does this mean for you and me? It means that the average human would need to eat over 650 pounds of beef every day before feeling the slightest effect from ractopamine fed to their beef cattle. Now, I like beef and pork, but that's a bit much.
If over 25 countries have tested ractopamine to be safe and over 100 countries allow importing meat where ractopamine has been used, why do some other countries not allow it?
You know, I've really been surprised by my years in the U.S. Department of Agriculture how hard some countries work to protect their own markets and inhibit trade. Some countries will even use health and safety excuses. This is a hot button for me because it reduces consumer confidence. Consumer might think that something is unsafe because Russia or the European Union or China will not allow it, and that's just not true. Thankfully, however, we do have objective data and science, as well as the review of important international bodies like the World Health Organization and Codex Alimentarius. These folks kind of set the food law for the world. These organizations have given ractopamine the green light worldwide for safety and efficacy.
Dr. Hurd, how does the average consumer know that ractopamine is safe in their beef and pork?
As a veterinarian and former public health official, I look carefully at the safety studies of any product used in our meat supply. Over many years, food safety agencies have developed methods to evaluate product safety, from the sweetener in your coffee to the medication your doctor prescribes. We also have surveillance data after a product begins to be used. We're looking for confirmed reports of adverse outcomes. Ractopamine has been used for over a decade, and there's been no adverse human health reports. Because ractopamine is related to natural products like raspberry ketones, it's very safe. You would need to consume a pickup truckload of meat every day to notice the slightest effect.
So you are saying it's possible to eat enough ractopamine to be harmed?
Well, Celeste, if you can eat 650 pounds of beef today, tomorrow, and for a long time, then you might start to feel the slightest effects. Even so, you actually won't be harmed. You might start to feel a little nervous, like you would feel after slamming some of those energy drinks when studying for an exam. So maybe better just to enjoy some lean red meat and get a good night's sleep, don't you think?